Hmm. Let me play first while wait for the others to. Hey, thanks for joining the stream, man. Gonna start with a little bit of Exos here. Trying to play the game. You just adjust my PC. Let's give it another probably 2 minutes. Then we discuss the usage for this month, October. How are you guys? How are you today on a Saturday? I hope it's a Saturday in your area. If you're in what do you call this, in America or the US region, you're actually going to be, yeah, it's going to be a Saturday as well, morning. Okay, let's move out of this. Let's go straight to the usage. We have enough people here in the stream. Okay, so this data, guys, I'm just gonna start right out the bat. So this is your top usage in heroes and PvP last September 5. So as you can see here, Rhinor is not here yet. And more or less, there are going to be a lot of changes moving forward as we go to October 3rd. So Dorka was actually number one here, followed by Redley, Misty, Shufraken, Valentina. So wait, what do you call this? North Von Frosty was actually right on the top of its peak around September. Okay, so it started in September, the whole month of September. And Schmidt, Garf, Tantal, Ramji, Junai, and Shell. Junai and Shell were actually coming back to PvP. By the way, guys, for those who are asking, this is actually the data that I got was actually part of the Asian server, not the global server. So just in case, if you guys are or have joined the global server, this is not that data. So we'll proceed with October 3rd. So as you can see, the usage has been kind of different. There are a lot of changes, a lot of a lot of surprises. Actually, not a surprise. But again, FC Redley and FC Garf have a lot of usage. I was actually expecting their usage to kind of be in the middle, but they have actually increased based on the type of teams that have come out recently in PvP. So Rudley is at 44, Garf is trailing him at 42. But again, for the start of October, the usage of teams have been very, very, have been very varied, or it's not really a dominance of one specific team, but it's actually a variety of teams have dominated since October. So Dorca's dropped from number 1, so she's now at number 3. Schmid is still here. Misty again still dominating with some inclusions in Greenland and North Von Frosty. Reinor is actually not a surprise because last week, the last time I was live, I think it was last Saturday or last Saturday, Reiner actually had usage already. So I was actually expecting her to be in the top 5, but she's now in the 6th spot in terms of usage. She's a new entry to the top 10. Then you have Tantalo going up as well. So he is at 26%, so a +1 up. FC Janai and FC Shell have actually risen already, +2 for Janai and +1 for FC Shell. Okay, so and FC Kari is here. I also expected Kari to be more, near the top 5, but she is in 10. Shufraken and Valentina are at 18% usage. They're actually just out of the top 10, probably 11 and 12. Okay, let's take a look at the top usage in teams for PvP. So as you can see here, for October 3, we have the top team, which is Shell, Janai, Garf, Rudley, and Rhinor. So that is actually the most used team right now in PvP for Asia server. Again, for those who are playing global, the data that I have is actually belonging to the Asian server. Next is actually FC Garf, Rudley, Schmid, Dorka, and Seowa, which actually this I think is dominating global server, if I'm not mistaken. I've had what they call this conversation with players in global as well. Then the third would be Shufraken, Valentina, Dorka, Misty, Ramji, and the other variation would be Ramji swapped out for Tantalo. So there are three usage. The numbers actually, guys, in the far right are the number of usages in the top 50. And to round out this list is going to be FC April, FC Rachel, FC Zion, FC Schmid, and FC Baraka. So they're still here. So Lenombe is still usable in the top 50, but they're no longer dominating PvP or Zebenstonir for the Asia server. I'm gonna share with you guys I'm gonna share with you a list of all the teams so that you could actually have an idea on how long this list is. So as you can see here, I only got the top. These are the top 5 teams that are being used, but this in actuality these are the top 50 teams. So for this long list of teams, I'll be posting this in the comments section, which I will pin them there so that you can actually reference these teams if you want to build them out. But again, as I've told you guys, there has been a varied usage, and this is actually good for PvP because again, players are being creative, not just following the meta, but actually being creative, testing out what they can build, testing out what they can have. So again, I'll put this down there just in case you're interested to take a look at what are the other teams that you can build so far in PvP. Okay, let's move on to this one. So nation usage ranking. The one on top is going to be Garf and Rudley because both of them have been Death Rider. Sorry, Sam. I use Schmid, Rachel, April, Baraka, and Rudley. Yes. There are really a lot of variations right now in PvP, and it's good that we are experimenting on these teams because again, creativity is used to be lacking in PvP. We just follow the existing meta, but we don't experiment on other builds. But again, going back to the nation usage ranking, so FC Garf and FC Redley are usually paired with Vagabond or with Estores, and they are very flexible. So basically, FC Garf and FC Redley right now is going to be flexible enough that you can build, you can add them to other nations, and they're going to be a great core. Next is going to be the nation that is going to be top 2 in usage is still going to be Shufrak and Valentina, Misty, and FC Ramji. Particularly with Misty, because again, Misty is still being used in a lot of teams. North Von Frosty used in Wasted Red, used in all kinds of teams, Greenland even. So again, that is why North Von Frosty is still here in the top 2. Next is going to be Vagabond, Schmidt, and Seowa, particularly for Schmidt. Schmidt actually has kind of had a comeback in terms of usage. In terms of his usage kind of dipped a bit when Lenombe was actually also dipping, but now he's making a comeback. Brun for Dorka. Of course, Dorka's usage is going to be top tier moving forward, especially if we're actually going to wait for her Fate Core. We're just going to get a more improved Dorka moving forward. Next is Historis, FC Gina, FC Shell. So I'm actually happy that I built both. They're going to play a big role moving forward in PvP, particularly for the both of them. And last would be, again, although Lenombe has dropped out of the top in terms of PvP, they will still be one of the main teams. They won't really be out because, again, as soon as they can improve their team, they're going to go up again. Okay, so that is it, guys, for the nation usage ranking. You have the top usage in teams, and you have the top heroes in PvP for October 3. So this one, I'm going to have another set after the tag, the Sibilis Junior tag for this week. I'm going to make another list probably 2 weeks from now. So we're going to go live again with this one. And more or less, this is it, guys. So do you have any questions for PvP? Team building, team what they call the team composition, you can actually shoot them down in the chat, guys, where you can relay your messages. So I'm just gonna welcome some people to the chat. Welcome to the chat, guys. Glad that you could join me this afternoon here in the Philippines. I'm gonna go straight to a little bit of gameplay for Exos. I haven't actually done my dailies yet. Let me just connect my, what do you call this, my mobile to my PC, because I'm gonna play from there, because I don't trust the emulators to do a good job in terms of what do you call this, in terms of having a good connection. So let me just set this up, guys, quick. So for a while, okay, there you go. So we are. Let me just get you guys back. Okay, so we are actually hooked up with my mobile. I'm actually not yet done with my PvP tag. So let's do a bit of PvP tag matchups. I usually do auto for my own team. What I just do is more or less just check out the matchups and have a good matchups in terms of head-to-head. So let's just do this, guys. Switch it up. Okay, so if you guys have any questions on team build, on your own teams in PvP tag, you can actually just drop it here in our chat box, guys. This is actually my second time streaming Exos on a Saturday. So more or less, moving forward, I'm going to do a lot of streaming on Saturdays for Exos. Starting at 5 p.m. Philippine time, I will actually more or less have a scheduled stream, probably a day or 2 days before, because sometimes I still have to confirm whether we're going to have a power interruption or not. So hopefully this is going to be a good Saturday streaming, especially for PvP. I'm actually going to build my own version of the top team. So as you remember there, it's going to be Janai, Shell. Then you have there Garf and Redley, and you have Reiner. So in a bit, I'll show you guys what my Reiner is built right now. She's not that good in terms of what you are going to see later. I still have to build her up, but again, as you can see in this team, I have built my Stories and Wasted Red teams already. Death Rider Sam. On tag second team, I use Greenland, Rera, Bathory, Tantalo, Talia, and Luna. And third, I use Dorka, Misty, Naomi, Garf, and Carrie. Well, that's actually those are actually good teams already. You just have to make sure that you check before you start tag matches. You have to check their head to head. So you have to check whether because sometimes if we do, let's say for example, what I do in tag PvP, I just do auto until I reach challenger 3. So more or less what I do is just check the matchups. If it's favorable to me, then it's good. So any team actually in 2 and 3 are going to be good, especially if you guys have built up their signature force, not necessarily with their blue fate course. Okay, sorry. That's great. That's great, man. So the only reason I actually haven't really what do you call this? Haven't been up in Challenger. It's because I haven't really played that much tag. It's more of I don't have that much time right now to climb tag PvP. I'd rather climb up PvP itself. So right now for me, tag PvP has been good. It's just it takes a lot of time just to climb up. So you're at Grand now, bro. So more or less, are you aiming to move up, Sam? You still have today, tomorrow to move up to Grand. So what do you think is your chance of moving up from Grand? Actually, I like your the third team. I like with Garth, Carrie, Naomi, Misty, and Dorka. I wonder if you did try to put there Redley. If you have Redley, or you are actually using Redley in your first team. Yes, I usually have full teams. As you can see here, my first team is usually made up of Wasted Red, whole Wasted Red. Second team is actually built for Stories. That is how I basically distribute my teams. And the last team here is the rest of the pack of what I have. So Dorka, Tantalo, Schmidt, Talia. I don't really have a good Greenland team at the moment, but again, this is what I have. So more or less, I'm only good with the top two teams. So one Stories and Wasted Red. The third team is just a filler team. Okay. So Redley is on your first team. What's your first team, Sam? What's it composed of? Guys, feel free to put your comments down in the chat in terms of what you have in your teams and and if you want to ask me what I think of is a good team. It really depend on the availability of the heroes that you have, how well your nation is built. So, and what nations are really ideal? Usually, every nation is ideal for tag. There's even North Von Frosty is actually good for tag PvP because you can auto that team. For PvP, I for Sam for PvP, the max that I do is top 15 on Legend, but too hard to rest. My first team is Rachel, April, Rudley, Baraka, and Schmidt. Yeah, still a good team actually. Lenombe. So you just have to. They still actually just need to have a couple of reinforcements to make them go back to the top, but I'm not sure. Probably the mythic that's going to come out. Rude. What's his full name? I think he's going to be with the Numbe. So if he is, and if his kit is actually going to be good, I think Lenombe will have that reinforcement at this point. I'm still actually salty about Misty because I don't have Misty at up until this time, and I haven't pulled her even in any banner. So again, I don't know when I'll get a mythic character or mythic hero at this point. I'm just happy to have built my Wasted Red and Lenombe teams. But again, at this point in the game, I'm also looking to build a lot of teams. Probably build. I'm actually building Run right now because of Dorka. That is actually my priority. I'm actually building Seowa for Vagabond. Vagabond's signature force is already full on my end, and I'm also considering Reiner as well. So a lot of things that I'm doing in the back end. I think I'm done with tag PvP. So that's it. I'm still climbing this Challenger 1. Sam, there are if you let Schmidt on top left and Rudley after Rachel and Baraka, you get a lot of reset and easy to kill stall meta because of their counter of reset, bro. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Sam. So let's move on. Let's go back to PvP later. I'm not really a big fan of PvP tag. I really just want PvP. Arcverse. I don't know if you guys have tried Arcverse recently, but let's try this out. Let's try one match. I haven't played Arcverse since it was down for a while. I think this is going to be the team that I have. No, not this one. Gonna have to change my team. They have put in a lot of new things here in Arcverse. So I forgot actually how to customize my team for Arcverse. Can you guys help me? I am because I think if I'm gonna, click match here, it's going to start with this lineup, and I'd like to change this one first. Um Let me just go out for a while and let me go back to Sebastian here. I don't know if it's gonna be here. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Uh, okay, I forgot. Let's go back to Arc first. Let's just have a match. Yeah, I forgot. Let's see if thanks Moon Knight. Let's see if this is going to be paired up. We're waiting for enemy. I actually like Arcverse. It just needs a lot of development and a lot of things to be, to be kind of try because again, this is going to be a live match. If you're going to have a live match, it definitely needs a lot of tech support around it or development around it. As you can see here, it's still waiting for enemy. Hasn't moved out, and again, this has been a couple of months already since the launch. I forgot when was this launch. Probably 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and still they can't fix it up to this point. So let's go out, guys. I don't know if I could go out of this. Can't go out. Exit. Exit, please. Can't exit. What? Gonna collect this. Why can't I exit? So this is going to be a problem moving forward because again, if this is going to be the trend, I am not going to play Arcverse at this point. Okay, surrendered. Let's try another match. Let's see if it connects this time. So again, matching problems, lag, what else? Cannot push through battles. Again, it's still the same problem more or less, but it doesn't really improve. Oh boy, I'm not gonna be happy with this. I can't even exit. So this is going to be the last. If I'm not going to be paired here, then we have to move on to other content for the game. I was actually hoping to have at least one match here. So network error. Try again later. I don't know if I'll try again, but let's try this, guys. Okay. I haven't done my dailies yet. Let's try this one, guys. I still do. I'm actually trying to just finish up the shop. Just need to make this one purchase. Then I could claim the Fate Core selector. Then let's pull for that Fate Core selector. Let's just do this on auto, and let's talk a bit more, guys, on what do you think is needed for PvP at this point. PvP for me for Zibin Jr. is still actually very exciting content. It's more on the other things that we should change or we should modify. Um Moon Knight, I got FC Deva from this event. Is she good? Deva is at this point. Let me actually discuss with you a history of Deva. Deva was one of the top PvP heroes way back when we started the game. She was very powerful. Most of the units or most of the heroes way back then were very squishy. So basically, Deva was a one hit kill all. But now she is going to be good. I feel in PvP tag part of it if you are in the lower tiers of PvP, but again, she's not going to be one of your top go-to heroes, especially for stories. She is actually going to be good in your PvE. Okay, PvE content, she's going to be good. Definitely, especially if you do elemental enhancement on her, then she can really break a lot of guardian stones for you, especially for her. I think it's her S1. No, Sam, no more crash. A way to counter very easy meta. The tag is not good. Yeah, I agree. So again, going back to Deva, Deva is going to be good for you in PvE, not so much for PvP anymore. Unless if you don't have any much heroes, you can actually use her in PvP tag. I think. It really depend on again on signature force and how damage she can give out, especially for her S1 and for her S2. Her S2 is actually it's a single target killer for her S2. But you have to build her the right way, and also you have to have a lot of copies for her to be good as well. For Deva, I mean. So just gonna clear this out, guys. Hopefully I could pull for the Black Fate Core. I just need I think 800. So in a little bit we're gonna pull for the for the what do you call this, for the Fate Core selector. At this point, is good to use, but you need Misty for her S1. Yep. At this point, I don't have much need for what do you call this, for Black Fate cores. Most of the Black Fate cores that I have are at +5 already. I'm at for the Black Fate cores. What am I looking at? Probably the new ones. Probably FC Jin. That is what I'm looking for. Let's go through my lineup later, guys, in terms of Black Fate cores and what I need before we pull for the Black Fate core. Um, don't remind me, Moon Knight. I also don't have Misty. So again, Misty is very elusive in my pulls. Really haven't been lucky in the recent Exos pulls. I am actually saving up Zess, hoping for Dorka. Hopefully, I could get a lot of copies for her because, again, I really need to build her up, especially when her FC or Fate Core drops. So it's a 1002. I think this is enough. Let's pull for. I'm gonna get Shofraken later, so receive. Okay. So let's go to what I need. What Black Fate Core I need at this point. Black Fate Core. So I have 2 summons for to do today. So the Black Fate core that I'm looking for that one is going to be let's see. One is going to be Valar. The newly dropped Valar. I actually like Valar's kit. Who else? FC Jin is one that I'm actually looking forward to as well. Basically those two. Only those two. So let's see. Let's try to pull. Let's actually just pull for this first. The recruit 11 times. So far, I haven't had any luck pulling for any good or any Fate core here. And if you. So Sam, Moon Knight, okay, because S1 of Deva is AoE, and if you the dragon character, you get Wrath, and the counter is possible to kill you. Actually, correct. Misty counter Rat, so no counter. Okay. Let's move on, guys, to this one premium summon. Let's just hopefully I could get something here. Since this resummons actually came out, I haven't gotten any single good pull. Not even a general, not even a single Fate Core, even if it's black. I haven't got anything good. So I'm not getting my hopes up here. Hopefully, just, let's see. Not even a general, guys. As you can see, it's only a fated. And it's actually Dana. Generals right now are actually a good pull because there are, let's say, I get FC Mahar's new one. Good for you. Good for you because again, really have bad luck. As you can see, it's a one and done. Let's go on to that Fate Core and let's see what I got. It's Annie, and Annie, I already have a lot of copies of Annie. I actually have her at +5 already. One of the first Black Fate cores that I had at +5, and one of I think still the one of the top Black Fate cores. Her kit is insane. She's near already gold Fate core area, if you know what I mean, on how powerful her passive is. So let's try to just recycle. I don't know if I have an extra Black Fate core. Just gonna recycle that one. Black Fate core. What do I have? What extra do I have? So I have an extra for Ramji here. Actually, I have 2. Let me just check Ramji for a while. I don't know why I have 2. So my Ramji, this is already at. Okay, so I have 2 extras of Ramji. It's gonna fusion this. Not fusion. Gonna recruit this to another Black Fate core. See what I get. So we'll do Ramji first. 2 copies of Ramji. Let's convert this. And see what I have. Please give me FC Mahar. Oh my god, it's Liungen. Liungen, I don't. Do I have her at 5? Let me see. Liungen, I. See, I actually get crap. Liungen, I have her at plus. Not even a +1. So this is the first one. And I'm not sure if we're gonna use her. Let's just do the fusion or the what do you call this? The combination of Black Fate cores. So what I have here is going to be Annie. An extra, then let's have Liungen here. Please give me Mahar or at least FC Jin, the new one. You got the same? So you mean to say you got Liungen as well? Let's try to change this up. Hopefully I could get a better one from this one. It's going to be Nemeris. Again, one crap after another. So for Nemeris, I'm not sure if I have an extra. The update for what do you call this? The enhancement hasn't arrived yet, right? The one that we can only what do you call this? Where is Nemeris? Okay, so there's a incoming update where you can actually fusion only what do you call this? Not this one. Sorry. Fusion. So this is actually without already, so let's just do this. Yeah, it's out. The update. So you can actually fusion just the Fate core excluding the hero. It's actually confirmed. Okay, so Never is at 3. Not really happy with that one. Okay, so what next? Gonna do my dailies, guys. This event is the Get to the Red. Yeah, it's still up. This has 1 day to go. Hope you actually got your Janai. For those who are here in the stream, hope you guys have gotten her already. And more or less, you still have a day and 10 hours to get her. I'm not sure who's gonna be next. We have a lot of we have a lot of options. I think the one that's gonna be next is going to be Dorka. So not the gold Fate Core Dorka, but the red version where it's going to be she's going to be part mech. For gold, let me check. I think I don't have any extra for gold. See recruit. I don't think I have an extra. So far, this is only that I have. So I have one carry. Let's actually fuse carry. I forgot to fuse carry. Do a fuse for carry. I actually had to detach her Fate Core because I used her character for the signature force. But let's try this one. Fusion. Yeah. There you go. So +1. So that is my extra, basically. No other extras for gold Fate cores. Let's take a look at I don't know if for the event. Sorry, Fate Core. I don't know if they've upgraded already. So unique. Okay, so the next guys for the red Fate Core is going to be Carrie, definitely, because they've uploaded her already. And this one is not going to be, as popular as her current Fate Core. Because this one is reverted to, the old Carrie. Most are preferring the current one right now. So let's take a look. Actually, I haven't seen this yet. This is her Red Fate Core, and it's dropping next. Probably after Carrie, we're going to get Dorka or the Red Fate Core Dorka. So that is our next one. Haven't seen this. This is actually, I think, silver. Okay, so what else? In terms of recruits, the current banner, I'm actually done with. FC Janai. But as for April, I did pull for her once with the 200, but not really building. I'm not really building Linombe at this point. So more or less, I'm gonna skip her. Just gonna do my dailies here, guys. Feel free to chat me up. For those who came in late to the chat, welcome. And I already did the usage part of the stream. You may check that out once this stream is done on what are the top usage in PvP as of October 3. We're just gonna do dailies here, guys. Any of you guys are in global server? Who's in global here? Please raise your right hand. No, just chat it there. Who's in global, guys? Because actually my question is what are the most viable teams in global right now, aside from the one that's been, it's been told to me that it's going to be Garf, Redley, Seowa, Schmid, and Dorka. Hi Benjamin, I'm actually in Asia. I haven't been playing in global. I don't have an account in global. Just want to fish out what are the trends in PvP for global. Sad to say, I wasn't able to create an account for global. I should have created when I started this game. I didn't actually foresee that global will be different in terms of meta. I actually assumed that global in Asia will have the same meta. One of the content creators that is in global is going to be Dreadnought. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he usually has a glimpse at what do you call this, a glimpse at the meta for global. Yeah, but there is actually a difference in terms of let's just gonna finish this out because I still need to farm. Also, guys, for those who haven't been farming the core raid shop, before I forget, you can actually get Shufrak in here, and you can also get, I think, if I'm not mistaken, FC Janai. So I'm just gonna be farming this. Try to get as much shards as possible for FC Shufraken. I'm actually hoarding a lot of generals at this point because, again, the meta right now, once that a lot of players have been constructing their signature force, the meta is actually wide open right now for PvP. Very wide open. I'll do a recap in a while for those who came late after this match. So okay, so I'll just do a recap now on the top teams in PvP. This is going to be for Asia server. So as you can see here, again, guys, this is just going to be a recap for those who came in late to the stream. So the top heroes in usage is going to be One Rudley, Garf, Dorka, Schmid, Misty. Rhinor is here for the first time at 6. Tantalo, FC Jina, FC Shell, and FC Carry. FC Shufraken and FC Valentina kind of dropped already in terms of usage. That is why they're out of the top 10. And for the top teams, as you can see here, the top team in usage is FC Shell, Junai, FC Garf, Rudley, and Rhinor. So again, if you have Rhinor, it is a good thing to build her. It's easy to link her signature force to an existing signature force that you have, but the problem with her is I think you have to get copies of her for Transcend. But apart from that, she is actually easy to build. So that is why I'm encouraging you guys to go with your Rhinor and build her, link her signature force to a signature force that you have existing. Then she is actually easy to go with in terms of PvP. Then the next top team would be Garf, Rudley, Schmid, Dorcas, Seowa. This is actually the top team that has been told to me. Dominating global, so that's good. Try to build her as as you are trying to get copies of her Moon Knight, because again, she'll be a good. I guess she'll be like your Dorka that is going to have, that's going to be good as herself. But once she gets her, her Fate Core, she's going to be better, or probably a way better version of herself. She's a ticking time bomb. That right, Nor. Yes, definitely. Because again, the her basic attack, the damage, if you build her right, the damage is actually pretty much very ridiculous. Very ridiculous. I've seen how, if especially if you build her to deal critical damage, then she is going to be ridiculous, guys. I tell you. Let's finish up. Guys, for those who are late to the stream, for those who haven't seen the top usage, um oh, hi, welcome Johnny. Yeah, at first, this game is going to be, a lot of grinding down, a lot of farming. Johnny, do you have any questions on what team that you are bringing in right now, or you're developing? Just shoot down questions. For those who just joined the stream, welcome. Shoot down questions if you have any, questions on team build. Sam, a team that really is hard to kill is Stories, Junai, FC Jin, Summer, Rhine, or Shell. The last one I don't remember if Misty or Dorka. Um so Junai, um I think it's going to be Dorka for that team, Sam. So Junai, FC Jin, Rhinor, Shell. Yeah, I think it's going to be Dorka. Because that team is actually fast. And I like that team. Okay, Benjamin, I'm afraid that the meta changes by the time I build them. Do you think that team will fall off, or do you think that team will fall off the meta soon? Benjamin, which team are you referring to, by the way? Moonai, by the way, when will we get the FCZ on Valentina and Garf? It was actually announced in Facebook. I'm not sure yet on when we'll get it, but let's just look out for additional announcements. So Benjamin, Schmid, Dorka, Seowa, Garf, and Rudley. Um, well, if you ask me, Benjamin, if that team is going to fall off the meta, for one thing, if you break down that team into what do you call this, into individual heroes, that team is actually very, let's say, Schmidt is part of the meta, definitely. Dorka will be forever part of the meta. Seowa might fall off, but with Schmidt there, she's going to be, hovering in the meta. She just needs her Fate Core at this point. And also Garf and Redley. So that team is actually definitely good to build, Benjamin. Schmidt, Dorka, Seowa, Garf, and Redley team. So go ahead. I don't think that team will fall off. I myself, I'm using Wasted Red with Garf and Redley. I also built Schmidt. The one that I'm lacking in that team is a good build for Dorka and for Seowa. Okay, the full HP sustenance team. Okay. Nikos, I am like 75 to get the red. You still have time, Nikos. You still have time. So just grind it up until tomorrow. Yeah, anytime, Benjamin, anytime. So again, PvP again, the meta changes a lot, but right now, as you can see, there are a lot of teams. Teams that are core would be your Wasted Red, Greenland, Lenombe, what do you call this? Estoris, North Von Frosty. Almost all the teams right now are being used. And at some point they have been in the top. So again, just focus on you know, if you ask me, just focus on the team that you prefer. Like for example, I did stick with Wasted Red and with the stories. I didn't know that they were going to be as good as they are now. But again, stick to what you think is, what playstyle do you think is suited best for you. Greenland is more on defense. Wasted Red is more on defense. Kind of have an offensive part of that nation as well. You have what else? Lenombe is good for very good offense. Lenombe is actually good to build because most of the Lenombe teams are exclusively heroes under Lenombe. So again, it's a very, very good team to build. Johnny, who is good with Valar. Valar FC. Which Valar? Valar the black one? The Black Fate Core, or sorry, Valar the new one that just got out, or are you talking about the old Valar, which is the girl version? If you have the new Valar, you need to play your Wasted Red full team when Rudley boost HP, use S1 in the other team, so do only 1 damage to you. Yep. I've seen actually Wasted Red teams before. Mostly Wasted Red teams bring the old version of Valar. Yeah, pretty much bring mostly Wasted Red because that team would be good in terms of defense, but again, you still have to bring offense to kill, your opposite team. That team is more on of decreasing attacks, if I can remember, for the Valar, the girl version. Let me just go back to her kit first, so that we may have a pretty much good reference on what she brings. Now that we're here, I actually built her up, Valar, the girl version, but I haven't used her because again, Wasted Red. I can't seem to organize. Why can't I scroll down? Okay, so here we are. So for Valar, this one, the girl version. So defensive, very defensive. Has needs really the executioner skill. So and really needs Garf to be with her. So decrease attack of all targets with executioner mark by 20%. So this is more of a defensive debuff, and the 20% if that hero dies with the executioner mark. So okay, sorry. S1 deals 60% damage to all back row. I wish that they had created this for all, not just the back row. Gains 2 mana to all allies if the target dies. and mark to and afflicts executioner mark to target if target survives. So again, this is it's really sometimes hard to pull off when you have Valar in the team and to have her debuffs go, affect your enemy. So for this one, this is a single target, 750 damage to one enemy. Gains mana 2 mana if all allies if to all allies if the target dies. Executioner mark as well if the target survives. So again, pretty much a very defensive character. I actually prefer the new one. If you happen to get to have the new one, let's take a look. Let's take a look at. I haven't pulled for that version of Valar, so let's take a look at the new version of Valar because this one is pretty much going to be better, if I may say. Both are Black Fate cores, but if you eventually have to decide on a Black Fate core for Valar, try to get this version, the male version. So passive is almost the same, but there is actually an additional one, so separate goals. So if there are 3 or more living enemies at the start of the round, after the first round, increase own attack. So he gets a little bit more damage through the increased attack, increased defense as well, and maximum health. So again, this version of Valar is actually stacked. I'm actually just waiting for this to drop in any Fate Core selector, so I'm not pulling for. It's not part of my main Wasted Red team, so I'm not worried too much if I'm going to pull for him. So overpower if an enemy with executioner mark has less current health than self, decreases the target's attack by 15%. So this is an additional debuff as well. So this version is going to be very better than the last one, and the S1 is kind of still the same, but the S2, as you can see, there is an additional debuff to the skill, so afflicts all enemies with silence for 5 turns if the target dies. So this is going to be very, very good. He will be more or less your finisher if a certain hero has little health. Then you can try to finish that hero off. Then silence takes effect for the rest. Then decrease attack of enemies with nullify heal effect by 10% for 5 turns. So again, this version of Valar is going to be very good. Now that I realize that I haven't pulled for him, I think I will pull for him the next time his banner comes around. Moon Knight duos the extra turn from Schmid make the passive worms? What do you mean? That's the extra turn from. What do you mean by passive worms? Let me go to Schmid. Let's have Schmid's reset. Let me just have a quick what do you call this? Quick evaluation of Schmid. Works. Okay. So let's take a look at Schmid's passive. So okay. Let's start with corruption. So Mark increases own attack by 20% for 7 turns upon receiving health regeneration effects. So this is actually a very good combo with Dorka. Master Footsteps grants to an ally with lower defense than self. Then usually this is where the turn reset is actually applied. Haven't been using Schmid, that's why I forgot where his turn reset. Let's just read through this one. So prey afflicts target with prey mark when an attack hits, does not apply if target is Schmid. Oh, here it goes. So resets turn for allies except for Schmid with Master's Footsteps. So the key here for the turn reset is going to be Master's Footsteps. So basically, Schmid has to have the highest defense of the rest of your team so that everybody will have Master's Footsteps. Okay, and then the turn reset afflicts the target with prey mark when an attack hits, Turn reset for all allies except self with master footsteps when attacking an enemy marked with prey. Okay, so basically what he does is once he attacks, any attack that hits basically inflicts prey. So once a another other hero aside from Schmidt attacks that enemy with prey, then that is when the turn reset comes into play. It's actually just a sequence of events that you have to activate first. So number one, you have to make sure that Master Footsteps is applied to all other heroes in your team. Number two is skills of Schmid have to hit enemies on the other side, either S1 or S2. Once they're hit, then they have prey. Then once the other heroes attack the enemies with prey, then then the reset, what they call this, triggers as well. Benjamin, wow, 21 FC enhancements on Janai, crazy stuff. Well, the reason for Janai having 21 is I had to make sure that she had the best attack for charm to take effect. So I had difficulty before in raising the attack of Janai. I just had to ensure that her enhancement is good, everything with her kit is good, because again, without Janai having the highest attack, especially if your enemies have a high attack as well, then charm is actually going to be useless, and certain heroes are going to be useless like Jin. Also for Shell is actually very dependent on Janai. Moon Knight is what I mean, that their passive works only in the second turn if there are 3 or more enemies, so that Schmidt can work. What I mean, passive. Basically for the turn reset to work, Schmid has to really attack first. If Schmid's speed is actually slow, then he wouldn't be able to apply prey. That is where the turn reset actually starts. Applying prey, then attacking the enemy with prey. So not necessarily pegged on the second turn. Everybody can actually have a turn reset even on the first turn, especially if Schmidt goes first. Schmidt attacks, they have prey, then they attack, then they have turn reset. Oh, that's true. I don't enjoy playing characters like that. It's crazy investment, especially in M3. Correct. Rachel Junai carry sheesh. For reset to work, great you do S1 on Schmidt. Need to counter after all character go to hit the same enemy after the reset. So when you fight stall Team Dorka, do S1 Schmidt after go to counter, then other characters do the same on Dorka and reset start. Okay. Bro, I mean FC Karin Valar. I'm just gonna read through the trail, okay? Who's that? Um, Moon Knight, just to clarify, are you putting in the same team Schmid, Harry, and Valar? I don't know if this is a second question. I'm sorry. Keep your questions coming, guys. If you have any questions on your teams. Done with recruit. Just gonna do dailies right now. Okay, for Schmid and Balar. Okay. Um. Again, the reset for Schmid works with anybody in his team as long as they have Master's Footsteps. So any hero that has the Master's Footsteps can have their turn reset as soon as Schmidt applies Prey. I don't know if Valar's passive works when he's on turn reset. Um. Okay. So basically, during the counter or the turn reset, it's going to be a basic skill. So the passive is, I think that doesn't apply. Let's just go back to Valar. So, okay, so I'm actually interested in this one. Let's just look at Valar's passive. Let's take a look at. Okay, in a nutshell, Valar. Okay, so Valar's passive is Shackles, Bulwark. Okay, basically, Executioner Mark is being applied only for skill 1 and skill 2. So if you want to apply Executioner Mark, you actually have to use the skill. If you're asking if the reset, the counters applies the Execution Mark, I don't think so. Okay. Because the applying of the Executioner Mark is tied to S1 and S2. I hope that actually is the answer to your question. PvP Janai, Indra, thank you for joining the stream. So, Indra, PvP Janai, and Reiner, and Jin Summer. For New Valar, I think it's the same. Same principle applies to even the New Valar. Johnny, which one is better, the old Valar or the new one? Actually, I was able to discuss it earlier, but again, the new Valar is actually better than the old one. I don't have actually the new Valar. I didn't summon for him in his banner. But again, the one that gives him value, just to go back to new Valar, is actually his S2. So sorry, not this one. This one. The one that gives him value more is his S2, because this one applies an additional silence for 5 turns if he kills an enemy with this passive, and decreases attack of enemies with nullify heal effect. So again, Valar new is going to be the one that is going to be used more or less. I hope I get at least a copy of him so that I could build him up. But as for the banner, I wasn't able to summon for him, so sorry for me. Separate goals passive. Okay. Wait. Separate goals passive. Okay, if there are 3 or more living enemies at the start of the round, after the first round, increases on attack. This passive is going to be, you just have to meet the conditions here. So the first condition is going to be 3 or more living enemies at the start of the round. So this is going to be for every round. After the first round increases, so that this buff takes effect after the first round. Okay, so after the first round, increases on attack, defense, maximum health by 25%, and stacks every round after that. So let's say an example, you have it on the second round, then the third round comes around, then another effect of separate goals. So this can stack up to 2 times only. So it's a maximum of 50% additional attack, defense, and maximum health. Okay, another question from Moon Knight. So will Schmidt make it work? Will Schmidt make it work? That's what I just need to know. Um, in terms of the reset, yes, but in terms of the skill, The other effects, because the turn reset is going to be a basic attack. I think the effects aren't going to be included in that attack. So it's just a basic attack. Damage, only damage for the reset. So Schmidt is going to trigger that. Okay. Thank you guys for joining the stream. For those who are sorry, forgot to put water. Okay, so more or less, I just have to continue this one. So keep your questions coming, guys. Um, keep your questions coming in so that I can address all of your questions in terms of team building. I haven't really touched chapter 22. I haven't really played that much for chapter 22. Probably within this week, upcoming week, if I have more time, because right now there are a lot of things that I want to build for this channel. No worries, Moon Knight. No worries. My pleasure as always to help you guys out. Um, I have been, going back to what I was saying. Exos right now, if we don't have a lot of content, I usually go out to play other games as well. Um, right now, I'm actually interested in Honkai Star Rail. So if you guys are going to or interested in playing that game, it's also a turn-based game. I actually have been editing a closed beta, what do you call this, closed beta test episode. You can actually register there. I'm going to upload it after the stream. I was actually in the middle of doing that or editing that video before the stream went live, so I wasn't able to finish it. But again, I'm actually moving forward. Oh, that is a trivial question. But what do you think of Dorka FC will be? Gold or blue? I think Dorka is going to be gold. It's going to be. I just don't want to disappoint the player base when it comes to Dorka, because a lot of have been expecting her for a while, and to give her out as blue, I think would be more disappointing. Also, to for me, that's the only thing that hypes up the community thus far. But if they put out a blue version, I'm sure the community would be very disappointed. So going back to the channel, been playing, as you've seen in my channel, I've been playing Counter Side, Exos. I did also a beta test for Revive Witch, which I think was a cool game, but again, we'll have to wait for the launch. Currently, and what I'm interested in again is Honkai Star Rail, which is actually also a turn-based strategy, which I actually love. So turn-based strategies are actually my thing, and hopefully I could cover that content in the future. Just want to ask you guys, do you have any other future games in mind that you would want me to cover in this channel? I would want to get your thoughts. I'm sure for you guys who have been playing Exos for quite a while, you guys have side games as well, or you actually have Exos as your side game. So more or less, put down in the chat whether you're open to other side games aside from Exos. What games do you want me to cover again? Create content, because again, this channel is more devoted to a select number of games. I don't usually just review games for the heck of reviewing it. I usually review games, and the games that I think that you guys would want, and I think that I would want to create, a lot of content. I'm actually fond of creating guides for you guys, guides on how to play, how to clear, what is trending right now for that game. So more or less, that is the direction. So right now, I just do hope that Exos really improves, because again, I have been experiencing a lot of, what's the word? A lot of less playing Exos, because we don't have that much content. as of the moment. And if we do have content, it's more of it's busted. I was actually looking forward to Arcverse for quite a while, but again, it's the game mode is still busted. So hopefully you guys understand what they call this, understand the direction of this channel. I was actually very devoted to Exos for quite a while, for nearly a year, because I think the game up until now, to be honest with you guys, I see a lot of potential for Exos. It's just that the developers are continuously destroying this game, and I'm not sure if they really have big plans. I'm actually questioning, what their plans are. So it's just usually the content that we have for Exos is more or less just recycled content, core raid. It's recycled content. The newest content that we have is get the red, but again, we need more than that at this point. The game is 1 year, probably 1 year and 3 months, 1 year 4, 1 year 5. I've been here since launch, so I still have high hopes for the game. Benjamin, I look forward to your Star Rail content, but honestly, as long as you enjoy creating your content, I'm sure all of us who sub are happy for you as well. Yes, to be honest with you guys, my happiness is actually important, but what I'm looking at is on the happiness of you guys, because again, um I create I created this channel, number one, because I thought I could help people. That's one. I thought I could help people play Exos. The objective of my channel is really to help you guys. So again, if I just only follow what I like, that's a different issue. But I'd rather follow what you guys like than mine second. Because again, you guys are here because you need help. You need to be entertained sometimes. But again, this channel of mine is really, really to give information, to give useful information. And also, I haven't been putting on a lot of games as well, because I want to select the games that would be here for the long term. So again, I'm very choosy with my games. I don't just cover any games just because I want to cover it for the heck of reviewing it. I review, then I play, then I create content for the long term. That's actually my goal. So if I do reviews for a certain game, um, you'd be sure that I'm going to create content for the long term. That's it. That's how I view my channel as its future. I'm sure Shufraken, Hasta, welcome to the chat. I'm sure Shufraken, Valentina, Misty, Dorka, Glenn for unlimited turn. I sorry, you use, sorry. Yeah, again, Shufraken, the North Von Frosty team right now is still one of the teams that I think will stay the longest, because again, it has its set, what they call this, it has set itself as one of the teams that can cripple you really. And to be honest with you, I started out with Shufraken and Valentina for North Von Frosty before. Not Valentina, but Shufraken before was one of the top heroes in PvP way back when the game was very young. But that team again is really one of the mainstays for PvP, and it's a good team to build. So thank you for that information. So again, guys, so more or less just doing my dailies right now. For those who haven't watched the usage in PvP, just chat me down there. Also, you're gonna see that later once I finish this stream. Once this video is saved in my channel, you can actually look it up. So far, I don't play Infinity Core anymore that much. I don't think the game mode is just as challenging. It's for me, it's just a repetition every week of what we do. So what I do is I go straight to Ubeer's Labyrinth. I don't do Infinite Core that much anymore. I do this game mode, European Labyrinth, as a source for zest. So that's it. Not so much as wanting to play it, but just grinding it to have zest at least for after this game mode is done. So again, welcome guys to the stream. For those who came late, hope you guys are good wherever in the world you are. So for those who are here, just gonna I haven't been talking about much about myself as a content creator. So for those of you guys who don't know me yet, I'm in the Philippines. I'm also a long-time gamer. Been gaming since what? Since the 90s? No, since the 80s. Okay, so that is how old I am. So just to give an idea. So been gaming since the 80s. I actually started gaming on the Atari. If you guys are familiar of the Atari gaming console, I actually grew up on that. Moved on to the next one. Next console that I had was a Nintendo family computer. I think in the States I think a Super NES. Used to play Sega as well. Sega. Then I then went on to PlayStation, then PC, old PC games, Heroes of Might and Magic. I grew up playing Final Fantasy. If you guys have played since Final Fantasy 1, I started playing I think Final Fantasy 4. The ones that I have been a fan of is 7, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 and 10. So those are the ones that I have been playing growing up. Um yeah, AG Final Fantasy, one of the way back when Final Fantasy was really the benchmark for RPG. Turn-based, open. There wasn't open world yet because most RPGs before were limited to your own console. So we weren't really we didn't even have any interaction yet with other players. So that was it. So more or less, again, that is my history. So been a gamer for as long as you can remember, 30 years. And as you know, as the years changed, I went back into gaming because of the mobile gaming industry. Quick access to games, quick access to to anything and everything in the Google Play Store. So that is why I started gaming again on a continuous basis. I actually stopped gaming for a while in my 30s, I think. Then my late 30s, I actually started gaming again through mobile. I started gaming with what was the first game? Marvel Future Fight. I actually was playing that game during launch of Marvel Future Fight. So again, the next that I played was Raid Shadow Legends, which I quickly dropped for Exos Heroes. But I played Raid for I think more than a year before I switched to Exos Heroes. So that's it. That's my brief history of gaming, and I still love gaming even at this age. So for you guys, just to share with you, I'm actually in my 40s, in my early 40s, and I still enjoy gaming. I'm still a kid at heart, and I still can keep up with the young guys. So more or less, gaming is my life. And recently, just to share with you why I went into content creation is also because of the pandemic, lockdowns here in the Philippines. And I said to myself, why don't I try this? Why don't I try this? I wasn't really comfortable before in facing the camera, talking to people. As you can see in my earlier videos, I wasn't really, I wasn't really good. I didn't have that, that confidence in talking to people in the camera, recording. This was something new to me. So again, it took a lot of time to getting used to talking to you guys, wherever you guys are. And so far, it's been good. Been happy with the channel. It's going to be, I have a lot of goals for the channel moving forward. If you guys want to ask, so again, I'm just waiting for the next year. Because I'm still full in terms of what I do besides YouTube. I still have a job. I'm still studying my masters, and I'm waiting to graduate by kinda December. Then after that, I'm going to blow the channel wide open in terms of content, because what I lack actually, guys, right now is just time. Because if you don't have time for YouTube, channel will not really grow. So at this point, I'm willing to invest more time to the channel, more content, more games. Also, I'm planning to do, a lot of spin-offs from this channel. Planning to do another channel as well, in terms of travel, food, in the future. But again, gaming is my main, and more or less I love doing videos for you guys. So I hope that I live up to what you're expecting of me as a content creator. And I'm really happy to be sharing with you guys my experience, my play, how I tackle things. As you can see, the channel is more on analytics. If you see what I present you guys, more on numbers, stats. I do that because, again, I wanted to give you guys more on the facts on what is behind the trends in PvP, trends in what nations are being used. Again, it's more easier to understand if you have stats behind you. So that is why I apply it to the other games that I cover, and hopefully in the future. Oh, by the way, I'm actually also looking forward to covering Girls Frontline 2. I think it's going to be released in December, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm also going to cover that. Hopefully you guys are into that as well. It's actually a turn-based, if you guys are into XCOM, so try to search that one. XCOM is actually a turn-based game, a strategy turn-based game, that I've been playing offline for the past few years. Through PC, you can also play that in Android or iOS. So that game is actually a good way to, if you have a lot of time in your hands, and if you want an offline game, this game is actually, what do you call this? I'm gonna just introduce it to you guys here. XCOM XCOM for iOS. I'm gonna introduce it to you guys here, so that you could see what I'm talking about, because I'm sure some of you don't know. Yeah, XCOM. This is the what I think this is the one. It's gonna share it to you guys here in the screen. So this one, I actually is a fan of this game. The gameplay of this game is actually very similar to Girls Frontline 2. So if you guys want to play this game I think is available, I think only in PC and iOS. I'm not sure if this is available in Android. But again, this game strategy wise is also very, very good. One of the best games that I've ever played, offline games, by the way. So, Girls Frontline is actually takes this game into a new whole level. So again, if you guys are interested in turn-based strategy games as well, this is actually good. So try this out if you have iOS, or you can play this in PC as well. So those are the type of games actually that I've been playing so far, if I can remember. I also tried playing Cookie Run Kingdom for a while, but didn't pan out. I was into the game because my daughter actually was playing that, but I ended up not not playing the game anymore because it wasn't really what I expected. But again, if you want a simple game to play, similar with the gotcha system, Cook Your Own Kingdom is actually also good. What else have I played in this channel? On My OG actually is one of the games that I want to play or showcase in this channel. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this On My OG, the card game. Have you guys heard of it? On My OG, the card game. So if you guys haven't heard of this game I used to feature as well in the channel. Just gonna showcase it here. So this game I did create a couple of videos. This game is similar to if you're into card games before, the real ones. I used to play Magic the Gathering before. I used to do it on a regular basis way back, I don't know when I was in my late 20s and early 30s. This one, it's not similar to Magic, but it brought me back to the card game scene. And this game is also a good game. It also has a gotcha system, but again, it takes a lot of time to play. So that is why I didn't create any more content for On My OG. But if you guys want to try this out, this is a good game to play as well as a side game. Okay, so anybody else have questions for me? Hey Johnny, RPG games are really my life. Haven't been into other games. As long as the RPG is good in terms of gameplay, good story, especially if it's good in the eyes. So again, it really helps a lot. So for any gotcha game, I am open to play as long as number one, I hope you guys are into it as well. And more or less, for those who have subbed in this channel, more or less, I think we have the same, same likes, same genre in terms of mobile games. So I think I'm at par with, sorry, I'm at par with your expectations. So again, my last thought on Exos, this game is going to be good down the line as long as the developers do progress, have big progress in this game. If they don't improve on this game for the next few months, probably for the remaining months of the year, there are a lot of good games right now that are coming in, and a lot of good games that are currently being played. So again, even with what you call this, even with Exos having this kind of graphics and art, with their what they call this, with their characters, if they don't have a stable game in terms of tech, if they don't have a stable game in terms of content, I'm sure people will also look for other games that are going to be more enjoyable to them. But again, as promised, guys, Exos is going to be one of the games that I will continue to feature in this channel. I have a soft spot for Exos, really have a soft spot for the game, and I don't think I'll be leaving the game anytime soon. I'm still waiting for what they call this. I'm still waiting for their 2-year anniversary. See if they can, they can move out of this slump. And moving forward, I really do hope they do. And those are my thoughts for Exos. I'm sticking it out until the 2nd anniversary, and then we'll see. We'll see. And 2nd anniversary would be May next year. So hopefully they could have better content by the time. Still crossing my fingers that it would come true. But more or less, I do hope that they really, really improve on what they have right now. Okay, guys. Last few questions before we end the stream. So, Again, I'll have another stream next week at around 5 p.m. Philippine time. I'll also put a reminder for the stream 2 or 1 day before Saturday. So I'll put out the stream announcement probably on Thursday or Friday. So looking forward to you guys in the stream to attend the next stream. Hopefully we have brand new content that we could discuss next Saturday for Exos Heroes. And I wish you all a very, very enjoyable weekend. Hope to see you guys next Saturday. And always take care, guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And hope to see you again. Goodbye. Thank you. And always again, take care.